So again, good evening and welcome. So tonight I am going to be using definitely a gold, carmine, one of my favorites, and just a lamp black. In my palette here, I also did add the cobalt blue and the Hooker's deep green. Now, I don't necessarily think I'm gonna like the cobalt blue in combination because I wanted to stay more dark with these tones. But I did add that blue in there initially. That's kind of what I wanted to do, and then changed my mind. I may still use that blue, but we will see. We'll see where this goes. All right. And for the start, I'm gonna push my paint off the screen here, so hopefully you have a nice view. And I'm gonna go right into the gold. Start out with that beautiful gold. Okay. And into my red. Now very, very, very small here to start with. I'll just progressively get bigger as I go on. Can I go up one here? And I'm going to go into the green. I'm going to skip right over and go into the green. And they're so small. Turn that around here. Okay. And we'll just keep going around. go another small step up. And I think for now, I'm going to skip the two dark colors, the black, and let's go back into the gold. And I'm trying to stay right in between the dots just below it. Give this a quick little turn here. Perfect. And again, another size up on the dots. I think I may actually go 2 as we get back into the carmine here. Get a little more progression. Okay, take that right to the edge. Okay, looking good so far. And another row up to my green here. And there we go, right to the edge. I may go one more. I think I like that. So we're gonna go one more round into the gold. Upside down. I'm gonna leave that one as is. All right, into the carmine. Let me see here. Actually, I'm gonna go another row. And that's only because out here, closer to the edges, I do want to do some petals. And I just want this to be really super clean and progressive down here to start. There. So far, yeah, I like that. Now, let's see. Yeah, let's stay with that size. And we'll go into the green. Debating there whether I should do every row or every other. And I think I like every. And we'll just start out real nice and small. So back into my tiny tools. I think I'm gonna go ultra small here. Start over here in this edge. And work all the way around. Now in this one, you see I did get back on my grid lines, if you can actually see them. So I'm just following those for this. So I can tell right where the top of the dot is, even though it's kind of skewed on an angle. darken that just a bit. And go back and add just a tiny bit of accentuation to that top dot. And there's so little. Okay. And now we'll go back into the next size up here. Actually, let's see, do something here. This way I don't have to go back in and make it a little bigger. There, I like that so far. So because they're so close together, I'm only truly doing one side. There. And then sort of just connecting them on the other side. There we go. Now that I'm back in the green again, let's see. Let's do something different. I'm going to move slightly off the grid and going between them here. And I should be able actually to get a half one on the sides here. Same process. I start with a larger dot on top, and then go back to my super fine one. That over here. With that touch at the bottom. There. Next tool. and back to the smaller side of the tool so that I can get some beautiful depth in here. Let me just take that all the way around. There. Bring that around here. Hey, good evening. Hello. Oh, you know what? Which one? You know what? I didn't really go back in and touch up the other one. I haven't decided what I was going to do yet. Was that the blue one that I was working on when you were last here? Yeah, okay. I got so stuck on that one. So incredibly stuck. I kind of just left it where we were. Wasn't exactly sure how to finish it. I did kind of darken the edges, but I don't know, I didn't like exactly where it turned out, so I ended up just kind of leaving it where it was. Okay, let's see. I don't even think that I want to do the blue in this one. So I'm back at the green. And I'm pretty sure I have room enough, excuse me, to do a row there. This one I think I'm going to finish though. I am pretty hopeful anyways. I love the idea of doing kind of the sun and moon. So I did want to stick with that, but decided to go about it just a little bit differently. Maybe I should leave that in just one direction. Let me do a couple more and see what that looks like. Or if I should complete the entire petal. It's going to black. I kind of like the way that's looking. Maybe I should save that though. Yeah, I agree. I'm just wondering, I'll do this last one here. I'm wondering if I should use that to finish though. Oh, gotta stop paint on my tip. Sheesh. I messed that up, I don't know. This never comes off, but I'll try this. Well, you'll get incorporated into the design. Okay. I really do like it going one direction, but I have all this space to fill up here. What I think I might do, how about this? Let me see if I finish these on this side. And then on the next row, which theoretically should get me pretty close to this line, then I'll go one direction. Otherwise, I'm kind of building just a one-sided. Let's get that off of there. Okay. Because now I'm rotating colors again too. And I can do a large gold. Cool. Okay, perfect. Yeah, sometimes I don't know if I'm if I'm making any sense at all or not. Is that gonna fit? Nope, that's gonna be too big. Okay. All right. My favorite color. gonna do a better job of cleaning my tools tonight. Jeez. Hopefully that smudge won't be noticeable. Same type of paint. Yeah. I always work with just basic acrylic, water-based acrylic. I've got a couple of different brands that I work with, but yeah, all the same. Now these ones are notoriously a lot thicker than the other brand, which I don't know how visible it is, but the edges start to dry super fast, but then I'll be left with the rise on these for quite a long time. You can probably see it on some of the larger red and green dots. But yeah, these ones I don't know. I like it because they don't flatten out as much, but that stiff peak takes, oh my God, 72 hours or more to dry to a decent. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, agreed. The blue one that I was doing, the lightest blue was a different brand, and although it was really nice, it's thinner so it dries faster. I was able to put a second dot, a top dot on that one relatively quickly. By the time I had actually finished the piece, I was able to go back in and do it. But yeah, at the same time, especially these dark colors look really good with the thicker paint. Ooh, you have, hey, I am open to ideas. Anything you've got. I like doing these types, but I'm sure not everybody wants to see the same exact thing all over the time. Let's see. Oh, right. Yeah, I agree. Wow, I have to think for a second. There was a post relatively recently in a Facebook group that I'm part of, and this woman did a skull. I don't know where she got the form, but it was a Day of the Dead skull. She had painted it black. Oh, and it was gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Yes, you're right. Yeah. They're really bright colors and contrast, even maybe some bright pinks. Oh, yeah. I would love to do that. That would be great. Maybe I can find, I can't draw for the life of me, but maybe I can find a good sketch of just a basic skull and do that. That would be fun. Let's see. I'd consider doing even something like a decorative spider web kind of theme, orange, black, you know. Wasn't sure exactly how that would work, but you're right, that would be fun for Halloween. I like that idea. One of these days I'm gonna do myself a pumpkin. My husband probably thinks I'm absolutely nuts now because everything I touch, I want a dot. Yeah. I'm gonna have to go look for some inspiration. That sounds like a really good idea. I can't think of anything for a pumpkin quite yet, but on the fun side of things, I did find when I started to do this, jinx. When I started doing this, my daughter really wanted to help. And, you know, it's water-based. Okay, fine, go ahead, you know. Set her up with something that she could dot along with me. And then I was looking online and I happened to find, and nothing related necessarily to mandala art, obviously, but they have a lot of coloring pages for kids that are filled with little circles that you use. They suggest like a little Q-tip and some watercolor paints to fill in the dots and then do the paintings that way. I thought that was so adorable. And I've seen some pumpkins like that. I don't know. It's way too much paint on there. I've been working with such small tools today that I didn't even realize that these petals are not going to be yet long enough to probably do the one direction. Yeah, it definitely is. Hand-eye coordination. We have a lot more room on this row. funky little edge over here. There. Yeah, probably would. Yep. Like those little kaleidoscopes, especially the ones that we had when we were kids. Little twisty kaleidoscopes, yes. I know a lot of this art in general is very kind of psychedelic and sort of part of that whole scene. Okay. Right. Yeah. I assume there probably are. Just like anything. I mean, there had to have been some reason initially that someone out there started smoking it, right? I mean, but right, I don't know. I don't know that I necessarily like, um, I don't like the loss of control. And I feel like that would probably be a big one for me. Um, Losing that sort of feeling of control. Yeah, you know what? Now that you say that, the Netflix, God, I think I've seen that. It's been a while. It really has been a while, but no, I do think I did see that. Like a little mini documentary or docu-series. Huh. Yeah, well, obviously, no idea. All right. And cover this thing up here. Pretty close. Clean that up a bit. Okay. This should be the last row, and then I can do the One Direction. I think that should fill up the space. So I'll be able to use my other tool. Yeah, I think that's gonna work. Nice. Let's go down a size. You could probably get away with slightly smaller green. I can just fit one on the edge too. Now, go back. Let me see here. Let's look at this empty space. How do I want to fill that up? Let's see. An evil one. That wouldn't be too bad, really. Get some gnarly face in there. Yeah. Especially since I drew it sort of looking down. First thing that comes to mind, I don't know if you've ever seen Cuphead. And the moon. I've got to learn to draw. Very, very, very tiny. And I'll come back in and put a dot in the middle of those, make them stand out a little bit. What other art styles? Hey, this has been pretty much it. I've dabbled in a lot of things, but no, nothing really painting. I loved writing. I loved reading and writing, and I did a lot of really descriptive writing growing up, but nothing in the visual arts. So yeah, this for me has been quite the stretch. Yeah, pretty much just out of nowhere. Honestly, where it sort of came from is, so at night, just to kind of wind down, I started watching videos with my daughter. Things like ambient stuff, landscapes, and sort of these repetitive scenes. Trying to think of a good example. Stuff like ocean life, whatever, right? And we kind of came across some of the videos on YouTube, actually labeled as children's, ironically enough, where people were just doing the mandala dotting on stones, you know, all sped up to music. And I really started watching it. My daughter sort of liked it. She kind of lost interest. But I kept watching it. And I just thought, well, you know what? That looks simple enough. I could do that. And I went on a hunt and I'm like, okay, well, what are these cool tools that they're using? And I got to get me some of those. And I thought, oh my God, this is probably going to be really expensive. And it's not. The tools I ended up buying for $8 USD. The paints are like 50 cents a tube. You know, and then just a couple of the other things. I mean, the tools themselves actually came with like a whole, there's 3 types of tools, palettes and everything. And so $9 to like completely get me started. And then I just randomly started grabbing pieces of construction paper and paper out of the printer and stuff like that. So yeah, really relaxing. You're right, just right out of the blue, but very, very easy to pick up. Okay, so that side's finished. Yeah, exactly. I thought so too. I thought it was going to be a ton, especially with these type of tools. But no, yeah, really, really easy. Now the stuff that I've invested in it to to get set up, lights and equipment and stuff, is another story. But whatever. Okay, so let me. I did have this black because I did want to go around the edge. But now that I'm looking at this, I don't know that I want to use black for that. Because this, even though this is all green, red, and gold, I think I'm going to go a different shade of blue here. Blue and silver, like I did on the other one. And have the blue and the gold, which I really like the idea of. Just looking at my lines, if I have enough room. I'm kind of afraid to ruin it if I start going around the edge. Well, what if I take my gold, and these are so right up against the line here. I'd have to trace the outside of it, I think. Yeah, this green is such a dark green. I don't even know in the palette if it looks really any better. No, not really. This is the green, this is the black. You can barely tell the difference. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna go for it. I don't know if it's gonna work, but right where this edge is. And I'm just going to go all the way around. I can keep these close enough together. And this one, since I'm actually just going right along the line, believe it or not, this is the hardest part for me. I absolutely hate this, and it's taking me forever. I feel like the second I start dotting on top of a line, specifically like this, or like, I don't know, what would you call it, tracing? For whatever reason, I can't keep it straight. It's the stupidest thing. It's not straight. Just straight. Okay. Whew. All right. Well, thank you for saying that. Appreciate it. That's my hope. Yeah. At least it doesn't look printed, right? It looks human. What I'm initially thinking is, what if I take this gold and continue wrapping it around so it's a real defined line, and then when I do this half in the silver and blue, I can pair up the silver right next to a bead of blue. Sounds good. In theory. And at least this way we'll get to see the lines. So that was one of my problems on the blue one. You couldn't really see the lines of the edge. So it just looked kind of funny. It looked like it's sort of all blended together. Exactly. Yeah, I think the opposite colors will hopefully give it a nice, beautiful contrast, but we'll, yeah, I don't know. Gotta try it out. Never know unless you try. And especially since I made this side, the quote-unquote sun side, so much smaller than the moon. Oops. Boy, I spaced those other ones out a lot further than these. Okay. This part, I'm so close to being finished on this section. And I gotta remind myself to stop and slow down. Make some of these a smidge bigger since I got a little bit of space in here. Yeah, okay. Sometimes it is. Yeah. Never what we think it's gonna be, but right. Got this one other space here. That needs just a tiny something. Now, I don't know that it's going to be dry enough. I'm going to test it. Actually, that gets stirred. It's getting a little dry on top. Not dry yet, but dry enough. Yeah, okay. Lastly, I can't get in here without messing something up. There. And the very, very last two that I need to do, these up here, and this one here. So I'll finish this one, and I'm gonna call it a night, and finish the other half, or start the other half, I should say, tomorrow. It's definitely not dry. There. Seems like there's a bit of glare. That out of the way. Yeah. Definitely shiny. hard to see, it shines so much. All right, well, like I said, the other line here goes all the way up and over. And I'll start on that tomorrow. Let's see. I have all those same really pretty blues. Maybe that one, and I'll stick with this one again. This really pretty, what is this? Bimini blue. And the cobalt. And then I have a really dark phthalo blue too. I think that'll work with the silver, just like I did on the other one. I think that combination worked out really good anyway, so I think I'll stick with it. You know, if this works, my next project was going to be this bottle that I came across. And it's actually just something I snagged. It's a, it was out of like wine vinegar. And I might put something like this on that. I think that would work out really good. And I've also got a few mini terracotta pots that I've got to get working on. I've actually got to get those painted though. They're not done. I don't even have my base coat completed on that yet. I think so, yeah. I haven't really experimented a whole lot on the other stuff, so makes me a little bit nervous, but I think now that I'm getting a lot more confident, not making as many mistakes and stuff, I think I'm ready to move on to that. So okay, like I said, I'm going to call this one tonight. I'm going to leave this one to dry because regardless, it's going to need at least 24 hours before I can touch anything up here and not completely mess it up. So I'll leave this one tonight, and then possibly tomorrow I'll see. I'll pick up on this side. Maybe I'll see if I can find a really cool face to put on this one. I don't know. Like I said, I'm a terrible drawer, but maybe I can find something to trace that maybe I can put in a dot. Something, I don't know. This was one of my inspirations early. And I wonder if a face like that could work. I don't like his mustache. But okay, maybe I can find something. All right, well, thank you so much for joining me again. I really do appreciate it. It's nice having you back. Had a little chit chat here while I worked. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you again either tomorrow. What is today? Thursday? So Friday or Saturday evening. I guess it depends what things look like at the end of the day for me. But yeah, sounds good. Well, have a great night. Take care.